Hey everyone, it's Black Cape, and today's video is for the top 5 NBA cores that are overdue for a shakeup. These aren't teams that are in need of a trade. This is not for players that need new addresses. This is only dedicated for teams that should strongly consider making shakeups to their core of players. Starting things out at number 5, we have the Portland Trail Blazers core of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. Yes, this backcourt is extremely talented and very young, but it's possible that they are already close to reaching their peak together. It's no fault of their own, of course, but let's consider a few things before you call me crazy. Their games are extremely similar. Both are high-scoring guards that don't play much defense. They are on a team that has an underwhelming front court and not much depth in the backcourt. They are also a luxury tax team, so they won't be able to improve without trading. Not to mention that Yusuf Nurkic is extension eligible this offseason. Sure, they could trade Evan Turner or Allen Crabbe, but who's going to give up something valuable for those contracts? Now, I'm not going to give actual suggestions on who they should go after, but it would be smart for Portland to at least consider putting talent at power forward or a more complementary player in the backcourt. This isn't the worst problem to have, but either way, something is going to have to give. Next on our list is the Atlanta Hawks duo of Dwight Howard and Paul Millsap. The funny thing about these two is that it was supposed to be Dwight Howard and Al Horford, but Dwight Howard ended up signing with Boston, so Atlanta kept Millsap instead. Now, this duo actually complemented each other pretty well, and Dwight Howard, although not an all-star, showed that he is still one of the better centers in the NBA. But why is this core overdue? Well, because Atlanta doesn't want Howard anymore, and with Millsap being a free agent, Atlanta wants as much flexibility as possible to either make Millsap want to come back and play for Atlanta or to rebuild in case he leaves. The only reason that Dwight Howard is still on the team is because Atlanta doesn't want to give him up for nothing. Despite Dwight Howard's performances this season, he doesn't really fit with the way that Atlanta wants to play, and other teams may have similar feelings about Dwight. Rumors suggest that Atlanta won't even recoup a first-round pick for Dwight, which is a low for a former All-NBA center. Me personally, I feel that Dwight would still make a lot of teams better, but I'm not the one in charge. Okay, so this core is in between players, but the Phil Jackson-Carmelo Anthony marriage has to come to an end. At first, it did seem like this union had a chance, but the Knicks have yet to so much as sniff a playoff spot since Phil Jackson has taken over as president. Many people believe that the best thing for both parties would have been for Melo to leave in the 2014 offseason, but these are the Knicks, of course. Melo decided to stay and play under Phil Jackson. How did the Knicks show their gratitude? By having the worst season in New York Knicks history. The Knicks have shown improvement since then, but not the type of improvement that fits into Melo's timeline. Phil Jackson has finally realized that, but instead of praising Melo for his patience, he has continued to publicly criticize his game, and at times use him as a scapegoat. Now, I don't know if it's the breakout genie or something else that he's dealing with, but if you're looking to trade someone, why risk lowering his trade value by saying negative things about him? I can say that I had the utmost respect for Melo, because through all of this, he has stayed true to his name. Let's all pray that this relationship ends this summer. Moving right along, we have the Chicago Bulls and the self-proclaimed 3 alphas. I guess they didn't want to overuse the term Big 3. Maybe they should have tried something like 1 alpha and 2 has-beens. I mean, no disrespect to D Wade and Rondo, but did people really believe that this was going to work? The NBA is no longer tolerating lineups where the main players touching the ball are unable to stretch the floor. In the past, Rondo got away with that because he had Ray Allen and Paul Pierce, and Dwayne Wade was just so good that he didn't need a long-range jump shot. Well, those days are gone. The worst thing about this is that from everything that I'm reading, Chicago is bringing everyone back. Chicago can't do anything about Wade because he controls his own destiny, but they have a choice of Rondo. But it looks like despite falling out of the rotation during the regular season, those 2 playoff games they played were enough for Chicago to want to run it back. Bringing everyone back does not keep Chicago out, but it does make it hard for them to add significant talent during the offseason. And closing things out, we had the most overdue core of them all, the Los Angeles Clippers and Lob City. Lob City has been going on in LA for 6 seasons now. In those 6 seasons, the Los Angeles Clippers have not reached the conference finals once. Now, the Clippers have had some unfair breaks, like Blake going down in 2013, Blake and Chris Paul going down in 2016, and Blake going down again this year against Utah. But one year that they didn't have any excuses was in 2015 when they lost a 3-1 lead to the Houston Rockets. I have a lot of thoughts on that team, so I will be doing a video on them in the future, so look out for that one. But that was the year that I would have considered breaking this core up. Unfortunately, Doc Rivers is afraid to take risks. He doesn't want to move any of his top guys because I think he's afraid of making a bad deal. But even if he didn't want to make a bad deal, maybe he could have made more of an effort to improve his team's bench, because it was clear that this group wasn't going to get it done. But Doc continued to go on and on without making any significant changes to the roster. I mean, what could you possibly expect when you aren't doing anything differently? So this offseason, Doc should think long and hard on how to truly improve this roster, instead of just focusing on bringing everyone back just to go down before the conference finals start again. So what do you guys think? Do you agree with the cores that I feel should be shaken up? I know that I'm going to get a lot of flack for Portland, but I welcome any feedback. Let me know down in the comments if there are any cores that you feel that I missed. And as always, I want to thank everyone for tuning in, and please remember to rate, share, and subscribe so that you guys can see what I have for you next.